That was too close. However, I prefer close to the alternative. If that bomb had gone off, well, let us just say, those of us left would all be learning how to speak Russian about now. Luckily, that is not the case. You and your team have foiled Stalin at every turn. And this was the coup de grace. The information obtained by your soldiers indicates those missiles was the only one Stalin had ready to launch. Was the atomic threat lifted? The time is right to launch our strike on the USSR. Your job is to clear the St. Petersburg area so that our ships can offer naval support to ground forces moving towards Moscow. Start by destroying the Soviet command center here. Once they are cut off from communications with Moscow, clear the naval passage so our ships can move up the river.
Vehicle report. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
В общем, главная задача этой миссии — расчистить путь для боевых кораблей. Так как я так и не разобрался, что здесь делать, я решил вынести все, что есть на карте.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Mission saved.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building. Construction complete.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Structure sold. Our base is under attack. New construction options. Building.
Река разделяет эту карту на два побережья посередине. На западном находится наша база и большая база противника. На восточном находится небольшая база противника. На севере в дельте находится небольшой островок, на котором сосредоточены все оборонительные постройки противника.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Building.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Construction options. Building. Building. Construction complete.
Наиболее эффективным юнитом себя показали Apache. На ней я буду действовать в большинстве случаев.
On hold. Cancel. Construction complete. Building. Mission saved.
Affirmative.
Как и всегда, начинаем с разрушения сборочных цехов.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle acknowledged.
Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Параллельно с этим я решил очистить берег, чтобы развернуть на нем вторую базу.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit
Reporting.
lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
reporting.
Reconstruction
sir.
options.
Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge.
Building.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Вот это вот было неожиданно. На протяжении всей миссии противник
Yes, sir.
практически не оказывал сопротивления, разве что с самолетами летал.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit
Acknowledge.
lost.
Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building. Our base is under attack.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Reporting. Awaiting orders.
On hold.
А вы что думали? Веселье продолжается.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. No. Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting order. One. Report. Yes, sir. Very well.
Unit lost.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Waiting order. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Awaiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders.
Naval unit lost.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit sold.
Да, хорошо, что в этой игре хоть есть возможность разбирать ненужную технику.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit sold. Construction
Very well.
complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Продолжаем разносить вражескую базу.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Vehicle
Решил
acknowledged.
добить осадки пехоты на восточной базе.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders.
Repair.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Awaiting orders.
Как выяснилось, у эсминцев большой радиус атаки, поэтому они спокойно могут уничтожать вражеские оборонительные постройки.
Waiting more knowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Knowledge. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting order. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Решил отправить небольшой взвод техники, чтобы уничтожить те электростанции на севере.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledged. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Waiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Вот он, тот самый вход, для которого мы должны были расчистить проход.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack. Mission accomplished.
Accursed Vaza. Welcome to the USSR, Commander. All Allied divisions are at the ready for our final push on Moscow. But we have received some bad news. The Soviets have the Iron Curtain back online and plan to use it to foil our assault. If that was not enough, our spies hint that a more powerful version of this weapon is in the works. I need you to infiltrate the Red Tech Centers so we can gather information on this new weapon. Dismissed.
Reinforcements have arrived. Reinforcements
Yes,
have
sir.
arrived.
Affirmative.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Главная цель этой миссии — уничтожить прототип железного занавеса и захватить 2 технологических центра.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Commander. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction options. Building.
Vehicle report. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Construction options. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Construction options. Building. Construction complete. Construction options.
Наша база находится на юге карты. На северо-западе и северо-востоке находятся базы противника. Между собой они разделены небольшим озером. На каждой базе находится по одному технологическому центру. Западная база является главной, поэтому на ней сосредоточены все силы противника. И в основном они атакуют именно оттуда.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction options. Building. Construction complete. Construction options. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Building.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Construction complete.
Ready and waiting.
Structure sold.
Affirmative.
Building. Mission saved. Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit
Sir?
lost. Building. Unit lost.
Vehicle report. Acknowledge.
Construction complete.
Здесь находится уже работающий прототип занавеса, и противник может им делов натворить в определенный момент.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Vehicle. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Our
Yes, sir.
base is under attack.
Acknowledge.
Building. Silos needed. Construction complete. Building.
Vehicle. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Vehicle. Reporting. Affirmative.
Building. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Противник начинает агриться сразу же после того, как вы уничтожаете сборочный цех, поэтому стоит приготовить оборону.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Building. Our base is under attack. Building. Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Reporting.
lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost. Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Vehicle. Report. Waiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Construction
Reporting.
complete.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Repair. Building. Unit prepared.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Building. Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Отбив атаку противника, я продолжу постепенно уничтожать вражескую базу.
Third objective met.
И, наконец мне удалось уничтожить железный занавес.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
После я решил заняться остатками восточной базы, а заодно и захватить технологический центр и одну из электростанций на побережье, чтобы построить верфь.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost. Training.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Engineering. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Low power. First objective met. Our base is under attack. Building. Construction complete.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Yes,
Construction
sir.
option.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Теперь, когда проход был свободен, я решил отправить БМП с инженерами на захват второго техцентра.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Engineering. Engineering. Affirmative.
Second objective. Mission accomplished.
Of course. At once. Affirmative.
В этой миссии нам даются две небольших группы. Первая действует в нижней части базы, вторая, соответственно, в верхней. В конце можно будет объединить усилия обоих групп. Однако большую часть времени придется действовать первой группе. Инженеры — самые важные члены отряда, так как они могут воздействовать с терминалами, чтобы отключать пушки, и они минируют генераторы, которые являются главной целью миссии. Их потеря означает провал миссии.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Very well. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Very well. At once. Agreed. Engineering. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mission saved.
Reporting very well. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative.
В нижнем проходе находится первый генератор. Направляемся к нему.
Affirmative. Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 At once. Yes, sir. Agreed. At once. Of course. Waiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Agreed. Engineering. Affirmative. 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 Waiting orders. Engineering. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. Yes, sir. On my way. Indeed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Explosive charge placed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Reporting. Agreed. Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Закончив с ним, поворачиваем направо и отправляемся к верхнему проходу. Там находится следующий. В ящике, который снизу в углу, находится аптечка, которая восстанавливает здоровье всем юнитам. Наверху находится терминал, который отключает пушку.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. At once. At once. Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. For king and country. For king and country. On my way. Commander. Waiting orders. Affirmative. At once. Ready and waiting. Reporting. Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Теперь второй отряд может пройти.
Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. For king and country. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Agreed. 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 Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Ready and waiting. Waiting order. Agreed. Agreed. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting. At once. Very well. Engineering. Yes, sir. Agreed. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Very well. Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Engineering. Affirmative. 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 Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Once. Very well. At once.
Explosive charge
Very well.
placed.
Yes, sir. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Engineering. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Engineering. At once. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. 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 At once. Affirmative. 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 Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Of course. Very well. Yes, sir. Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. At once. Reporting. Agreed. Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Very well. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting orders. Affirmative. Agreed. Very well.
Пройдя вторым отрядом немного направо, поворачиваем наверх, и там находится следующий генератор.
Explosive charge placed. Reinforcements have arrived.
Ready and waiting. Agreed.
Теперь второму отряду нужно продвинуться вперед и отключить пушку, чтобы первый мог пройти дальше.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Agreed. Affirmative.
Mission saved.
Reporting. Agreed. Yes, sir. Very well. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Very well. Very well.
Наверх, в сторону склада, лучше пока что не ходить. Там слишком серьезное сопротивление.
Very well. Very well.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Продвинувшись вторым отрядом вперед, мы находим еще один генератор.
Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Very well. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, affirmative. 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 Reporting. Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Explosive charge placed.
Reporting at once. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. At once. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Very well. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Mission saved.
Affirmative. 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 Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Agreed. At once. Engineering. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Engineering. Yes, sir. Engineering.
В общем, из-за технической ошибки я потерял фрагмент записи, поэтому вкратце расскажу, что я здесь сделал. Я отправился первым отрядом из центральной комнаты по нижнему коридору. Терминал, который находится в этом коридоре, не просто отключил пушку, он перевел ее на нашу сторону. И она уничтожила всех, кто находился в ангаре снизу. А там находились несколько солдат и пусковые установки. После чего я продвинулся налево и отключил там генератор. А также еще две пушки. Одну в комнате, в центральной, а другую, которая сторожила склад. После чего из нижнего коридора, выходящего за карту, прибыло подкрепление из 3 бойцов. Потом я вернулся в центральную комнату и объединил оба отряда. Осталось только 2 генератора. Но для начала решил посмотреть, что находится в складе.
Engineering. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Agree at once. Affirmative.
Explosive charge
Agree.
placed.
Very well. At once. At once.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Agreed. Very well. At
Unit
once.
lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 At once. Affirmative.
Мне только непонятно, зачем здесь вообще нужны деньги.
Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative. Reporting. Very well. Very well. Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Engineering. For king and country. Engineering. Affirmative. Reporting.
Вот это вот достаточно забавный момент. Интересно, он вообще понял, что произошло прямо перед ним?
Reporting. Agreed. Agreed. Affirmative. Very well. At once. Affirmative. Agreed. Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative.
Explosive charge placed.
Affirmative. 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 Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Остался последний генератор, и на этом миссия закончена.
Explosive charge placed. Mission accomplished.